Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Ben, amateur radio call sign M7FRS, and if you're a regular viewer or a subscriber of mine, then you may have seen in the past that I did a couple of videos where I fitted the HF modification board to the Quansheng UV-K5 or the UV-5R Plus, and I've always fitted the pre-assembled mod board to those, but a friend of mine had accidentally ordered the kit version, and he asked me if I'd fit it for him, and I said no, because there's no way I'm going to try and attempt that. But I've still got the kit. He did buy another one, so he bought the pre-assembled one. We fitted the pre-assembled one, so I've done 3 of those now, and that all worked absolutely fine. But yeah, the pre-assembled ones I bought, a couple of them weren't that great. The soldering didn't look all that good, and a couple of you noticed on the video and said that that looked pretty poor, and it was from the factory like that. But yeah, we're going to give a go at actually assembling this kit today. So let's move over to the desk and let's see how we get on. So just before we start then, I just want to say this is not intended to be a tutorial by any means. This is just my experience of me trying to assemble this. I'm not the best at soldering, but we're going to give it a go anyway. This is a hobby, and that's what ham radio is all about, is experimentation and learning as well. So this is me having a go. So this is what it looks like. This is the little packet that the kit comes in, and you don't get very much in there at all in the way of instructions. So let's open it up and tip it out onto the mat here. So that's all the bits out. First of all, we have got a should we call that instructions? A little diagram that shows us where things are going to go. So you can see that you've got your ground and you've got your numbers. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, another number 2, a couple of 6s on there. So you can see that things are numbered. So that's there's our little printed circuit board. Again, you can see there that's absolutely tiny. It's probably smaller than my thumb, the actual board itself. So we'll lay that there, and then all these little bits you can see are the components that are numbered there. So I presume that's a number 6. It's difficult to tell because of which way up it is. Is that a 6? Is that a 9? I don't know. Hopefully we can figure it out by how many there is. Maybe that's a 9. Let's have a look, see if they've underlined one so we can tell. No, that must be the 9. So yeah, so that's our number 9, and this is our number 6. I've probably got them upside down because the camera's the other way up to what I'm looking at you. But yeah, we can see all these little components here, and all been handwritten on as well. So that one there is number 14, I can see. What are these? Have these got numbers written on? No, there's no number on that one, but I can see that that is probably going to be number 5, the IC. So I can see that that's going to be that chip. Only because I can tell by the number of pins on there. It's difficult, you won't be able to see that, I wouldn't have thought with this camera, but there is 5 pins on that chip, so I can see that's what that is. And then that's our number 2, 3 small components, and yeah, we'll be able to work out what's what. I might even need to look at a previous circuit board or pre-assembled one so we can tell what's what. But yeah, we should be able to work it out from the numbers on the back of these. So I think what I'm going to do then is we'll put all those to one side. I'm going to sellotape my, if we're going to call these instruction sheet down, and then we'll make a start on trying to decide where what we place first and where we place it on this tiny PCB. I'm thinking probably start in the middle somewhere. Right, so I've taken the plan down, and I've just literally used a tiny pair of these tweezers just to weight the board down, just to stop it blowing away basically, or me breathing on it. But yeah, they're very thin as you can see, so we're just going to leave that resting on there. I'm probably going to try and use solder paste. I know some of you said, oh, don't use solder paste, but I can't really see any other way of doing this, so we're going to try and use a tiny bit of solder paste on the board there. I've laid out the components roughly where I think they need to go. Obviously some are shared, but so have no idea where to even start on this. I'm thinking if I start in the middle of the board somewhere and work out, it might be easier, but I don't think anything's going to be easy when it comes to this. So I'm going to try and start in this area somewhere. So these are definitely sixes, which is this one, so that is that component there and there. So maybe we'll start there and then work out. And then our number nines are these two. So where have I put the number 9? That's over here, so I need to bring that into shot. So that's the number 9, and they're going to go one here and one just here. And then the other components I had to work out what they were, because the ones that are in the little black packets, I think this is a little crystal of some sort. That must be number where is it, 17, which is a big one. So I haven't got a number 17, so that number 17 is going to go in that area. And number 10 is this little black one here, which is there, which is just going to go there. And obviously our big IC it's obviously going to go on there. Orientation wise, we should be able to see which way round that needs to go, and like I say, I might cheat a little bit and I might look at some of the pre-assembled boards just to make sure I'm getting this right as we go. Right, so let's make a start. I think what I'm going to do is use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol just to give the board a clean, just to start with. And it's been in the packet, but let's give it a little clean, just get it all nice and prepped, ready for soldering. And the other thing is, I know on previous videos everyone says that the solder tip that I use is too big. Well, my soldering iron is it's a little solder station, but it's not particularly good, to be honest. So you can see the size of the tip that I'm trying to use, but I'll literally just use the end of the tip. And I apologise, the camera's not going to focus because I focused it on the board itself. But yeah, literally I'll just use the edge of the tip. So we'll get it nice and clean. Probably get a little bit of solder on there first, and then you probably hear me cleaning that on the little sponge pad there. But yeah, we'll get a little bit of solder on the end there, and then we'll put some paste on where we're going to start, and like I say, we'll work out how this is gonna go. So let's open those number 6s up first. I'm going to have to move some of these components out of the way. Let's just move that out of the way there. And yeah, this is going to be very fiddly. These are literally the size of a grain of sand when you see how small these are. And I'm also going to put my magnifying headset on as well, so that's no use whatsoever me trying to show you that on camera. But that's the magnifying headset. I'll pop that on. You'll probably see the lights when they come on, just so I can get a little bit closer and I can see exactly what we're doing. And I can see actually with the magnifying headset on that these do actually say 103 on them. So there we go, I can just about get the second one out. There we go, they're out. So let's work out where they're going. So yeah, the IC is there, number 5, and it's going to go on these two spots there and there. So what I'm going to do is put a tiny little bit of solder paste on in those two spots, making sure I'm getting the right two. And it shouldn't matter if it overlaps a little bit, because it should sort itself out when we put a bit of heat on it. Right, so let's grab those tiny little components. I'll do them one at a time, and let's orientate it so it's the right way up. That really matters with these, but let's pop it in. So here we go, first one is in place, and so we'll give it a tiny bit of heat from the soldering iron. And let's try the second one, get that one in place. I've probably put too much solder paste on already, but let's have a look. We'll learn for the next one. Let's just heat that again. We'll stuck that to the soldering iron. This one was just not very straight, it's not really neat enough for my liking, so let's just try and straighten it up a little bit. First one actually went on better than the second one. Yeah, so arm's just not straight, so let's just try that again. Well, there we go. Yeah, that's straightened that one up. So I'm going to give that a little clean up again, just see how that looks. So I'm not quite sure how well you can see that, but they're definitely both on there. Maybe a little bit of a slightly larger blob than we'd liked on the first one actually, so I'm just going to heat that again. I might be getting too picky with this, but I'm sure people will say in the comments if I'm doing it wrong, and I say this is only an experiment. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not that fussed, to be honest. These aren't expensive kits, and it's all a little bit of experimentation and learning, like I said. That's done that quite nicely actually, just tidied that up. And let's give it another little clean, just keep cleaning it. And then we'll try and fit, let's try and fit this chip number 5 next year. Will work towards me a little bit. So fiddly, even just getting these out of their little packets. Oh no. That just hung off, and luckily it has landed on my trousers and I can still see it even though it is very small. There it is. That was lucky. I thought that was going to be game over if we'd if we'd lost that straight away. So yeah, just need to be very careful unwrapping them. Like I say, they do seem to spring off once they're once they're free. That made a bit of a break for freedom, that one. Right, so let's move the rubbish out of the way, and then let's just put a tiny bit more solder paste where that's got to go. There's 5 legs on there, so it's obvious what the orientation needs to be. And you don't want too much paste, so I've literally just put a tiny dribble on there. And it looks like too much, but what I might just try and do is heat that up first. Should we do that? No. Let's put it on first. Try and put it in place and see if we can get anything that will work on there. So that looks okay to me. It's difficult to say, but it looks like that one has gone on fairly clean. So we'll find out afterwards, won't we, when we test it, which won't be this video. I'm definitely not going to be fitting it in this video. We'll save that for another day. So I'm going to keep going with some of these, and then join us in a bit when we've got a bit further on. And then let's try fitting component number 10 next, which is this one here, and then we'll go for the 2 9s either side of it. So let's try that. We'll try and not lose this one. We don't want it flying out of the packet like happened with the last one I opened of these. Nearly. So a little bit of solder paste on the pads. Let's pop them in place. Okay, and then we've got a couple of number 9s to fit. Component 9, which is here. Again, we've got to be careful we don't let things ping out and disappear as these spring open. There we go. I think there are a couple of little capacitors again, so let's just pop them on where they need to be. One's going to go just here. And then the second one is going to go just here, isn't it? And that's going to need more solder paste on the other side, but let's get this one in place first. And likewise that's the same. I think that needs a little bit more paste on it. Yeah, definitely. And we'll just do one half to start with. You can see it's all mixed up, but that shouldn't matter because once we stick it down, it should sort itself out and it should follow the tracks basically. So I'll leave one side clear so I can see we've got it where it needs to be, and then we'll heat that up in one go and see what happens. Yeah, that looks like that's worked really well actually. Give that a little clean. Yeah, just that last pin on the end there needs a little bit more, and then obviously the other side as well, but let's just put a tiny bit of solder paste this side. In fact, I need to dry that because I've still got isopropyl alcohol on it. Let's give that a little dry. And I've probably put far too much paste on this one, but let's just spread that out a little bit. And then we'll spin it round and then see if we can solder that side as well. I think that looks okay. Just need to sort that other one out. This side is one leg. This side that looks a bit dry at the moment. Let's clean the soldering iron. And we'll just pop a tiny bit on there. They look good to me. Right, so we've got quite a few components on so far. Let's just weigh out where these last components need to go. So we've done 2, 3, 4, another 2, the 5, the 2 number 6s are on there, 9, 2, 7, 8, the big number 11 IC is on there, 9 and 2 we said, number 10 which is the crystal there, number 9, another number 9 which is there, and we've just got a 12, a 13 which is here, so there's our number 12 and one of the number 13s, and there's another number 13 going to go next to that, 14 which is here, if I can catch it, there we go, in the shot, and number 8 which we've done is already on there, just done that one, and the 15 is going to go above number 8 which is there, and then number 17 which must be this little component here, this one which is going to go just there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 components left to pop on the board, so let's get them done. So if anyone's superstitious, this is where it's all going to go wrong. This is components number 13. So let's see if we can tick 13s out. There's 2 of them. There we go. And they're going to go just underneath number 12. And then obviously it would have been a 16 whatever that was, but they've decided they want the same component in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is where they're going to go. We'll do them individually because they're very close. Moved it and stuck to my finger. And I know what people are going to say. People are going to say that I probably should have stuck the PCB down as well, because that is moving around and causing me issues. So I'll accept constructive criticism in the comments below. I'm sure there'll be plenty of it as usual. So it is an experiment, and I'm sure there's probably people screaming at the monitor or screen, whatever you're watching on. But let's say it's all a bit of experimental and learning. Right, so this one's going to go here. We're nearly there. We've not got too many more to go now. So part number 14 next, which is that one there, so 14 and 15. Or shall we put this one in next? Let's do that one, shall we? Let's do number 17. See how we get on with this one. just needs a tiny bit more solder paste on the side nearest to me, I think. Yeah, there we go. Lovely, that one's in. And this should be, hopefully, the last component going on now. And one final clean up. So there you go then, that's hopefully a little HF mod board for one of the Quanshengs now completed. If you hit the like, subscribe, stay tuned, and hopefully in a future video we'll fit this into a little Quansheng UBK5 or UBK6 or something similar, and we'll see if it works. Thanks for watching, 7-3.